Turkey had an obligation to remove all of its anti-personnel landmines from its borders in southern Turkey or northern Syria. But a lot of the fleeing refugees from Kobani to Suruc were being stranded in the landmine belt that separated the Turkey-Syria border. And one specific issue that we covered at the time, as well as, let's say, kidnapping and torture of Kurdish children by ISIS in Aleppo, was the landmine issue, which was basically meeting victims of landmines who had been either maimed or killed, a woman that had lost her leg only a few days prior than the day I met her. So it's basically being on the ground and interviewing eyewitnesses and victims. One thing that separates, let's say, the work that Human Rights Watch does and its credibility from, let's say, media outlets is that, unlike journalists, we do base our investigation on eyewitnesses and or victims of torture, arbitrary detention, police brutality, whatever the context that may be, indiscriminate shelling, landmines, and so on. And also, we don't base our reports or our press releases on one source. We tend to check the information that we've received from one eyewitness account with several eyewitness accounts, and if it's not possible, then we would then use satellite imagery in the context of conflict countries to kind of do an overview of the area that was bombarded by different groups, to see the extent of the damage and the accuracy of the information that we had received from the eyewitnesses and the victims, in terms of checking the exact hours when the attacks took place, the exact locations, and we cross-check it through satellite imagery, through social media. Social media, again, I mean, it's a large part of the work that we do, in the sense that you've got activists on the ground instantaneously putting videos. So it's, you know, you get the video, you get the eyewitness account, you cross-check it with satellite images and other sources of information, and then a product is usually put out in terms of a press release, which is usually 2 pages to up to 10 pages, or reports that can be as long as, let's say, 100 pages.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I talk a lot.
No, it was, you know what, it was fascinating, and if you let me, I can probably ask you more questions, and we'll be here for 3 more hours. I am very glad that we've reconnected, and I'm so proud to know you and to know that the good work that you're doing. I do want to talk with you more about your work, and I'm curious. Do you get to Washington?
I don't foresee myself going back to the U.S. for about a year.
Okay.
But I do visit Washington whenever I do end up going to the States.
Okay, I think it's really important for our organization's leadership, our members of Congress, and others in Washington hear from you about this, because you have a very unique perspective and experience and education and upbringing that will maybe, perhaps, hopefully shed some light for people to better understand what's happening in Syria and in the region today. So let's see.
I've also definitely met with Brian, Ruben, Tanyel on multiple occasions when I was still based in Washington, and they're doing
revitalize that and get that going again.
Definitely.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mrs. Sarkis Balkhian, who is an amazing person, who's doing amazing work that some of us can only think about and wonder about, but he's actually out in the field doing it, and he's got a very sobering perspective for all of us to consider about the realities on the ground today in the Middle East and in this region. So thank you so much, Sarkis.
Thank you for having me and inviting me.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.